Let me start. So yesterday we discussed about LVM. There is a two types of the scenarios. So what are those scenarios? One is that creation of the new file system. Nothing but if the client is looking for to create a one directory which is need to be mounted in that moment of the time, how we need to be create. That is the first one. And there is a second scenario, we need to extending of the file system. Okay, extending of file system. So today's scenario is that, so there is already one VG is there. You want to extend nothing but there is no storage. So you brought up the storage. From there, how you are creating the process, nothing but how you are extending the your volume group and LVM and PV. These are the things how we are going to perform it. So if you want to perform means again we need to perform the 1 and 2. Let me go to the, I will show you once again how to perform the 1 and 2. Okay, so let it be this is the disk server. So this server will be consisting of as of now 20 GB is the my primary disk. So my requirement is that let me connect to the server. So my requirement is that the client said that there is a one file system slash app. Slash app is one of the file system we need to be created. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to send a mail to the storage team whether I have a space or not. For example, let me check it out. VGS. So VGS is the command just to check whether you have a space or not. Right now, I'm not having any space here. So PVS, let me check any PVs are there. No. And any LVMs are there. No. So none of the cases I'm not having the any storage here. Let me check the any block storages are available in hand. So right now I could see that I am not having any block storages. SR0 is nothing but your DVD. So it is not a disk. So usually disk will be consisting of, okay, whether this name or SDA, SDB, those name conventions. Okay. So right now, let it be, I'm not having anything. So let me send a mail. How we are going to send a mail means usually high storage T. Okay. We need 20 GB. Otherwise, let it be 5 GB. 5 GB learn for the server. Need to attach environment is whether it's a prod or a test. It's a production. Okay. Please do as soon as possible. So this is the mail I'm going to send it to the storage team. So the storage team will going to be perform the addition of. So we requested 5 GB. Let it be their request for the 10 GB, and the client is looking for the 5 GB. 5 GB will place it for the spare purpose. So just you need to come to the settings. The storage team, they will select the 20 GB. Add again the hard disk. Next, next, next. Here let it be 10 GB. So 10 GB is something, the disk they are going to be allocated to the specific server. Okay, next. So name convention, I'm placing the same thing. Usually the people are placing the server name. Okay, nothing but demo 5. So server name or IP address or change name they are placing. So the server is created. If you can see that here, the server format is that VMDK. So as I said you earlier, sometime back also, whenever we are executing any kind of the things and all, the file system format is a matter here. So the file system format is VMDK. It is already existed. So now once it is done, click on OK. So from the VMware end, they are going to send a mail that Okay, this is the particular disk they added. For example, this is a particular disk. They will add it the snap. They will send a mail to us. So from server end, if you want to see that any disk is attached, okay, we have the some of the basic commands. One is that fdisk -l command. Here nothing is listed because everything it is properly mounted disk only there. Nothing is free disk. I will show you. lsblk is the one of the command. Here also the 10 GB whatever we added, it is not displayed. So usually in Windows mechanism, in other mechanism, so whenever it is not displaying, we try for the disk, and if not, we need to go for the reboot. So whereas, so here we don't want to go for the reboot. We can directly go for the rescanning of the things. How we can perform the rescanning? Okay, by using the SCSI services. So we are using this for loop. The for loop will be consisting of, so where here all your services will be there. Means if you can go here, if you can see that here 3 hosts are mapped. So right now, what I'm going to do, it means I'm going to refresh this. So when I refresh this one, okay, automatically it will going to be display the whatever the new changes, whether it's addition, deletion, everything it will going to be changes. So let me refresh the furlough. So I refresh. How I'm going to validate? So earlier LSBLK, I'm not able to see the 10 GB here. Right now, I'm able to see that the 10 GB is existed. If you can see that here, 10 GB is existed. So let me move on to the next step. So in the step one, in the scenario one, we have to be create PV create /dev/SDA. I'm creating the PV. Okay, so PV scan is one of the command just to avoid the any misconfigurations. So let me trigger the PVS. So there is one physical volume is we created with the SDA. So we created. So now the requirement is that what is our next requirement is that, okay, we need to add a new disk. Okay, so there is a volume group. Actually here we don't have any volume group. Okay, so right now I'm going to create a one volume group. So how you are going to create a volume group? So PV you created. Next step is that volume group. So VG create. So let it be VG demo is the name where you are creating the volume group /dev/SDA. So VG scan. So the VGS can also refresh the things, VGS. Some of the times we are getting the warning, some of the times we are getting the kind of the pop-up just to refresh the file system. We are using the VG scan. So it is not a harmful command. It will refresh the mechanism. It will make you the up to date. If any errors also will come also, it will avoid it. Okay. So right now I created the volume group. So again, what I need to do it, I need to create a LVM. So LV create -l. So right now the need is that 5 GB. 5 GB I need to be created. Okay. 5 GB I need to be created. Okay. For the particular purpose. Let it be. I'm using for the purpose of 5 GB. And here your LV name, like a LV app and VG name. What is the VG name? VG-demo. Means you are creating the LV on top of the VG, LVS. So LV scan is the one of the command. It will refresh the your LVS. So now there is a one LV you created with your 5G. So on top of LV, what we need to do it, we need to create the file system. mkfs dot. So what is a LV? User LV display. So this is the one we try to create it. Okay. So mkfs dot ext4 space, you are trying to create a file system. The last step is that you are mounting the app folder. The folder is map. So just if you want to revise the once again what exactly we done. First, we reviewed the client request and we done the validation by using the VDS command, LVS command. After that, what we done, we are going to create a nothing but we checked the everything and we requested the storage stream. Once the storage stream is added, I can able to see that I need to refresh it. So once I refresh, I'm able to see that okay, SDA is attached. So once SDA is attached, on top of that, I create a PV, I create a VZ. Okay, I create a VG, I created a LV. So once LV created, usually any file system, it should be having some specific file system format, whether ext3, ext4, or XFS, CFS, Samba, or whatever it may be. So that is the reason what we are going to do it. We are going to create a ext4. So usually the client will convey that which file system he need to do it. So if the client said that it should be ext4 means we need to create a ext4. For example, if the client did not set the any file system means we can consider the like a reference one, like a reference one, whatever there, we can consider reference server or anything, we can proceed. So right now here the client is convey, just think of that conveyed ext4. I'm taking the ext4. Then I'm going to mount it. So once it is mounted, the user can store the data, user can replace the data, he can perform anything. So this is the scenario yesterday we performed. So for the continuity of today one, we have to be performed yesterday one. So there is a one more scenario. Third scenario, if you tell me
Sorry to interrupt you, but this process is the same for our cloud VMs also.
everything,
Means
cloud VM
they are
also,
giving the EBS and then same
they are
process
giving
will
the
follow with the
EBS.
tables.
Here we are calling as a storage, they are calling as a EBS. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Say for example, in
Mhm.
EBS, once you go to the volume group, you are attaching the volume group automatically. Volume group is nothing but storage. Okay.
Yes.
Once you attached in the server level, it won't be reflecting anything. So
Mhm,
again,
mhm.
you have to go for a reboot or a refresh. There you go for the refresh. Okay.
Okay. Mhm,
That's the same process. Storage should be anything. See, for example, in my client environment, a client using the VMware. For example, let it
mhm.
be in your environment, client might be using the SAN, storage, otherwise EMC SAN or detach or multiple SAN storage devices are there. Here, everyone we are common name is commonly we are calling as storage team. That should
Okay.
be storage, should be physical, logical, or whatever it may be. Okay.
Okay.
So our responsibility is that from the OS point, it should be take our control. Earlier, the images are not reflected. How to get it should be reflect. It's a primary task. Secondary thing is that on top of that, how we need to be created. That is the
Mm.
secondary process. Okay.
Okay.
So let me go with the scenario two also since yesterday we performed. Okay. So now the requirement is that now client come up with the kind of the requirement. This file system right now 4.9. So usually we attached 5 GB, right? So the dot 1 GB is nothing but temporarily it is held by the journaling. So journaling is a kind of the thing we discussed, right? So it will be holding up those information. So leave it about that one. Now the requirement is that this is the let it be 5 GB. So this 5 GB of the space, now the client he want to perform the some on of sudden, let it be one of the weekend, you are performing some project activity or migration activity. So the client is doing some kind of deployments. All of a sudden, what happened? This is totally occupied. Okay, you are not in a position to proceed next action, but almost you completed 98% of the work. Only 2% of the work is enough. Nothing but if we have the 1 GB extra 1 GB of the space, I can complete my work. So this is the kind of the situation. Immediately client come up with a requirement. Hi server team, can you do the extensioning of file system? Okay, right away. We are into the some kind of migration activity. So what we are going to do it. So as I said you earlier, maybe if you're not forgetting. So the architecture is very clear. Your storage device, on storage device, you are creating your PVs we are creating on PV. So we are creating the one volume group I am creating. Once this volume group is created, on top of that I'm creating LV. On top of that I'm creating the file system. Then I'm the mounting. So this is the process. Let it be. So now, so this is the hard disk. Okay. So these are the PVs. Okay. So these are the VGs. Okay. These are the LVMs. So these are the MKFS file systems. And here the first thing you are going to mount. Now the requirement is that let it be this VG will be 100 GB. So this is the 30 GB. Just think of that. This is a 70 GB. Okay. So now LVM, I created one LVM with a 10 GB. Okay. Let it be in practically I created with a 5 GB only. So now the client come up with a requirement. Okay. The 5 GB is the current space. So 5 GB he cannot pull out. He need a minimum 1 GB. Minimum 1 GB, maximum whatever it may be. So let it be safer side. We are going for some extra 3 GB. Some extra 3 GB we are going to create it as per the history. So what I'm going to do it here. First of all, we are going to check the mount point. What exactly the mount point it is. Okay. Whether check the file system type. The file system type. The third one is that LVM. So this is the LVM based. Okay. Now requirement is that I want to check it out whether my BGA have a space or not. There's a simple example. Yesterday, as I said you read, for example, your phone wallet, you have a 10,000. Okay, you already paid the 5,000 to your friend or your expenses. Now you have a balance is that 5,000. So there is a kind of urgent requirement. You have to clear one more due. That is the cost of some 3,000. So since you have a money, so obviously you are going to take up the money. Otherwise, you are going to pay from the existing wallet. The wallet is called BGS. So you no need to bother. You no need to borrow the money from the someone. Here also you no need to borrow the storage from the storage team because already you have enough space, right? So what I'm going to do it means existing VG only means existing volume only. I'm going to extend it means LV extend hyphen L. So how much of the space here? For example, let it be client is looking for, let me trigger the VGS command. In VGS, I have a 5 GB is free. Okay. So LV extend hyphen L. Let it be I'm extending 3 GB. Which one I'm extending? This is the one. So okay, I transfer the 3,000 to the someone. Okay, they are saying that automatically what it will be need to be reflect their file system need to be updated with the current value. But still it is showing the old one. Means again, here we need to be do the refresh. So the refresh is the E2FSCK or sorry, resize. The resize fs. Sorry, recess to fs. So this command, especially if we are using the ext4, means we are using the resize to fs or xfs repair or xfs grow fs. If we are using the xfs, means we are using those commands. So resize to fs is nothing but just a refreshing mechanism, like a pv scan, vg scan, like that. Okay, so now you are refreshing the server, automatically the new values is going to be reflected. So this is the way how we are going to be reflect the things and all. Nothing but here we are not downing the server, we are not requesting any storage here. So that is the recommendation. Always a volume group should be having the some space. So this type of the moment of the time dynamically we can perform. So that is the one of the major benefit. So let me go to the next current scenario. Scenario 3. Add another disk to the volume group. Okay. Create a PV, extend the VC. For example, the client said that if you go to the diagram, okay, let it be instead of 100, you can calculate as 30 GB. Okay. So here already it's a 10 GB used. Okay. Now the client said that there is a 10 GB, it is already there. Now my requirement is that I need to make it as a 50 GB. So there is a 40 GB is lagging here, but in my storage only I have 30 GB. That's the same thing. For example, in our wallet you have a 10,000, but the supposed to be you pay the amount 12,000. So 10,000 is ready to pay. The 2,000 amount is you are not in a position to pay it. So that is the reason what you are going to do it. You are going to borrow the amount, nothing but you are going to get the storage. On top of that, you are going to create a PV. On top of that existing VG, which VG I'm there, I'm going to extend it. I'm not creating the VG here. I'm directly extending the VG. Okay. VG extended means doesn't mean that my friend is transferring the amount to me, my phone wallet. Automatically the value is going to be reflected 10 plus 2, 12,000. Then automatically I'm going to be pay the amount. Okay. So this is the requirement. Let me again, we are sending the mail to the storage team to add some more space. Already we have some space, they added 10 GB. Just think of that. I'm requesting for the some 5 GB. Okay. Since these are the test servers, that is the reason we are going with a low amount of bandwidth. So I added the 5 GB. Again, I will come to the server. So 5 GB added? No, it is not added. So then we are going to refresh the thing. So if you can see that here from SDA, you created the app file system, but SDB, it is not having anything. SDC is a serial disk. And from here, it is your entire file system architecture, like a root, boot, everything existed. So let it be SDB is one of the file system which is existed as a raw disk. We are not having anything. So we are creating pv create /dev/ SDB. So again pv scan just to refresh. So PVS. So I could see that there is a two PVs are there. One is SDA. This SDA will be having volume group of VG demo. Okay. And this is the type of LVM2.
పవన్ గారు సారీ డిస్టర్బింగ్
Yeah,
వార్నింగ్
tell me.
వచ్చింది ఇలాంటివి చాలా వస్తున్నాయండి నేను ట్రై చేసిన వాటిల్లో యాక్చువల్గా నేను రియల్ టైం ఆఫీస్ అంటే ఇలా వస్తే ఎలా మనం ఇది చేస్తామండి వార్నింగ్ అనేది వచ్చింది కదా పైన
Warnings, it's happening because of this disk is already sometimes already mapped one, they are remapping. That is one of the cases. So secondary cases is that is the reason you have to go with the PV scan. సో PV scan చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, వార్నింగ్స్ అనేవి మూవ్ ఆన్ అవుతాయి. దట్ ఈస్ ద సెకండరీ కేస్. అదర్వైజ్ యూజువలీ if heavy warnings are there, then we need to go for the sanity report. FSCK. FSCK చేయాలి.
ఓకే.
సో
ఇక్కడ
యూజువలీ
వార్నింగ్ ఇచ్చి సక్సెస్ఫుల్ వచ్చింది. బట్ నాకు సక్సెస్ఫుల్ క్రియేటెడ్ అని రాలేదన్నమాట. నేను వేరే ట్రై చేస్తే.
it will be some of the cases sometimes, as I said earlier, కొన్నిసార్లు ఎలా ఉంటుంది, స్టోరేజ్ సైడ్ సమ్ ఇష్యూస్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, సో మేబీ యూ డిడ్ నాట్ గెట్ అ పాపప్ బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ క్రియేటెడ్, అలా కూడా ఉంటాయి. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ దట్ సేఫర్ సైడ్ ఆల్వేస్ వెన్ ఎవర్. సో యూజువలీ పీపుల్ ఆర్ నాట్ యూజింగ్ దిస్ కమాండ్, PV scan, VG scan. It's not a harmful command. Okay, just we are kind of refreshing only. Okay, we can use this command. This what exactly will do? It will remove the existing A1 warnings on day. Okay, if you can see that here, adding the device SDB with the ID name SDB, which is already used for the missing device. Okay, there is a maybe the storage guy plug off the device, the LAN from the another server. He will attach to this one, but he did not went in a proper order. Okay, so he did not refresh anything, just he removed and he attached. So that is the cause the some of the warnings will come. It is a warning only, it is not any issue. To overcome warning, just we need to be rescan. If not, we have one more option, FSCK. FSCK, if you want to performance, I will show you, we have to be unmount and we need to be performed. If not, the last option is that sanity reboot. Means you need to go for maybe at the time of patching and all. This will be going to be fixed up at the time of patching, because when patching time, everything is going to be clear up. Okay. So I created nothing but I created the PV now. So next thing is that, so what I'm going to do it here, I'm not creating the volume group here. So as a going for the documentation wise, hard disk are requested, PV I created by using the PV create. Now I'm not creating the another volume group. So what I'm going to do it, existing volume group only, I'm going to extend it. Means I'm transferring the amount to my friend directly. I'm not creating the again a new account for the new transfer. Okay, so VG extend is the one of the command. This command will help you to extending of our volume groups, extending of our volume group. So VG extend. So for example, when you look at the VGS, okay, you can go for the VG scan by default. Okay, so VG extend. So VG extend is a command. We are extending the volume group. Okay, which volume group? Like for example, here the VG data. For example, in my case scenario, okay, so what is my volume group? VG demo. This volume group I'm extending. Actually, this one is mapped to the SDA. But right now, I'm going to attach the SDB also. I'm going to attach the SDB also. So VGS. If you can see that now, the two volume groups are, if you can see that PVS, both of them are with the same volume group. SDA and SDB, both of them are with the same volume group. So once you trigger the VGS, automatically, if you can see that here, there is a two PVs are there. So what are the two PVs? SDA and SDB. So earlier it was only one PV. Okay, so there is a two PVs are added. We have a extra space. So now I'm going to do the LV extend. Any doubts here? Any doubts, Sunaya?
No problem.
So you understand, right?
Yes, yes.
Santosh Garu, Mohan. Rohit, you understand, right? Any doubts?
No problem.
Okay. So this is one of the scenario. So these are the normal scenarios usually we are receiving day to day. There is a one more type of scenario like a L3 or L2 plus. Normally migration of the data. There is a two PVs are two volume groups are there. How you are doing the PV move? The PV move is one of the major command, especially whenever we are performing migration of the data, we are using this one. So how to use this one? So there is a one more document I drafted for this one in detail. So here, whenever you are dealing with the LVMs, there is some sort of the scenarios. You have to move the PV from one volume group to another volume. So if you can see that here SDA is the 10 GB. So this is we are going to implement. So for the practically new disk is some HDB is the 30 GB. So OS disk already it's a root there. With the data we already mounted. Now the requirement is that so whatever we are checking. So here how we are going to do the migration means, for example, SDA we are creating the one PV. Here we are creating the one BG and LV extension. Till here it is a common. The fourth, so once it is done, okay. So again we are going to perform the migration. One migration from the one data to other. So here, let me check here. So here the PVS, VGS. So these are the data is there and LVS. So these are the by default data and LSBLK command. So the LSBLK command will help you out the whatever the logical disk are available right now. Okay. So let me move on to the execution. So for example, here, what exactly means till now we performed everything. Okay, if you can see that here, SDA, SDB is having one volume groups. If nothing but this PVS, if you can see that this PVS information, SDA is the one of the LVM having, SDB is having the one of the LVM. So it is attached to the one of the volume group. Now what exactly we are going to do? It means till now whatever we perform, that's the same steps. Nothing but we have a 10 GB, we have 30 GB, whatever it may be. We created we mounted to the app. So after that, what we done here? So we are going to create a one more file system, nothing but /SDA VG we created. Okay, so here we created the one more VG and we created the LV. And from here, we extended the VG data. So we extended the VG data. So here till now it's a same thing. Here we are using the PV move. So the PV move is the command. It will move the data from this one to, okay, means for example, the PV move SDB STA. Okay, so here we have some space issue, nothing but for example, if you can see that here, the PV1 space, we can try in reverse order. Actually, the size is a matter here. So here we don't have any data. That is the reason it is not moving here. Okay, means the entire data one PV, another PV should be size matter. Nothing but this is the one PV, this is the one PV. So here 70 PV data, if we are moving, means this PV need to have a space here. So since I don't have the space here in the first space, I got error stating that we don't have that much of the space is available for the moving of data. So in the second case, I have the data, nothing but here already 70 GB is there, 30 GB data I am moving. So here space is there, but the thing is that since we don't have the data, so that is the reason the data movement is not happen. Nothing but it is showing that there is a data, no data to move, but it is successfully initiated moving the PV from here to here. So this is always a risky job. Whenever you are dealing this type of things, it is always we need to take the backup. Backup of the file system we need to take up, and the snapshot we have to be take up. Most of the times we are in real times PV move command we are using very less scenarios. Why means at the time of moving the data, okay, there is a lot of the chances we will be lose the data also. So that is the reason what the people are doing. The people are performing with some sort of additional commands. For example, they are going with a kind of the nature, creating the parallel file system and moving the data. So parallel file system means instead of you are moving the data from one to other, okay, they are creating the parallel file system and managing that one. So that is a somewhat safest. So this is a very rare situations we can try this one. If you want to try this one also, the data whatever there, everything we need to have a backup. There is a some of the times data overwrite will be happening. Means whenever this data is moving to here, there is a chance of existing data can maybe overwrite. So that is the reason we need to be make sure and we need to be very clear into the picture. So hope it is clear. Any doubts here? So in the same way, we can remove the VGLV also. Okay. So this is another scenario. Okay. For example, let it be we have a slash app is one of the file system. So the client said that I don't want, you can remove it. First of all, we are going to the place. If any data is there, just check it out. And we are going to create a remove the data. I'm going to create a remove the data. Once that is done, then I'm going to unmount the file system. Unmount the file system. Once unmounted means automatically it is not reflecting here. So unmounting of one thing is done means I want to make sure that I need to remove the LV. So when you trigger the LV remove space, what is the LV? This is the LV. So it is prompt you that are you sure you want to delete the LV? Because it is the consisting of some data means corruption will be happening. Yeah, I'm trying. Then LV is removed. If you can see that here, earlier whatever created, it is a removed. In the same way, once LV is removed means we can remove the VG remove also, or trigger here. Here VG is still showing to right. Okay, VG remove. So the VG remove whatever there and whatever their data here. Okay, so VG is also removed. Then there is a last step is that PV also we need to remove, right? The PV also PVS. When I checking here PVS, here two things are there. PV remove and whatever the data. For example, let it be this is a part of HDA or HDB. Okay, so whatever the data is there, you have to be mentioned that one. So PVS I removed. So now this is the way we are free upping the disk. Usually whenever we come up with a kind of the request, the client said that I don't want this disk, means what the generally people are doing means they are unmounting and informing the storage team, please take up your storage device. That is not a general practice. If you are going with a general practice, okay, what you are going to get it? This PV, this VG, this LV, everything, it is searching for the device. So you need to remove from their aspect also. Their aspect, if you remove, then only it will be full-fledged of covering, nothing but, kind of decommission activity. This is the way how once we all done, go with the PV scan, LV scan, VG scan. Okay, so these are the things you have to be do it. Then now your file system is clearly removed the cache, and moreover it is updated. So this is the best practice, but normally what the most of the people are doing, when the client said that I don't want any particular file system means, okay, for example, client said that I don't want this particular file system means, okay, immediately they are unmounting and informing to the storage team, remove the storage data. Once they plugged out, remove the LUN, automatically your operating system is keep on searching in VG level, LV level, PV level. This disk is supposed to be there, it is not there. What happened? What happened? It is keep on searching because no one is updating him. Someone need to be updated, right? So we are the persons responsible for the updating because we created the PV, we created the VG, we created the LV. So that is our the same scenario. We have to be take care of the responsibility to reflect into them. So that is the reason these are the primary type of objectives we have to be taken. This is the right way of execution of LVMs. Okay, any doubts here? ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా?
యా పవన్, ఇక్కడ ఒక డౌట్ ఉంది.
చెప్పండి.
ఒకసారి ఆ స్క్రీన్లోకి వెళ్ళండి.
యా,
ఇక్కడ మనం ఓన్లీ ఎక్స్ఎఫ్ఎస్కి అయితే మూవ్ చేసుకున్నాం, మనం అన్ని చేసాము. అక్కడ సేమ్ ప్లేస్లో EXT4 ఉంటే ఎలా చేస్తాం?
దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ PV move is possible if you are having the both are same data. Okay, for example, I'm having the ext4, I'm having the ext4, then only it is a possible. Simple గా చెప్తున్నానండి. For example, you have an Android mobile. Okay, you have an Apple mobile. Okay, so usually phone to phone, if you want to transfer means it will allow you. No, right? Because the format is a different. So what the people are doing, we have to be download and again you are copying manually to the Apple mobile. Means something. Means file format is one of the important. If the same, then only it will be permit. And the secondary case is that we have a risk level also. Whenever we are doing the PV move, okay, there is a lot of the chances existing data or original data may corrupt. Okay, sometimes data will be there, the connection and establishment will be lost. Say data is nothing but let it be Oracle data, some storage data or application data, they will lose the connectivity, right? So that is the reason this command is very dangerous. We can perform process wise, we can perform, but it is not a recommendable. So instead of that one, what we can do it, for example, let it be in this scenario, you have a XFS file system. One SDB is in XFS. Okay, another SDB you are having into the EXT format. Let it be one is in EXT format, one is in XFS format. So this case I cannot use the PV move, right? So what I'm going to do it, for example, I'm having the EXT, right? I'm going to request the storage team the new LUN. I'm going to create a new file system or I will move the data. So I will do the sync up. That is the way we can do it. Okay, it's a clear.
But this ఒకసారి దాన్ని రియల్ టైం లో అదే మీరు ఇప్పుడు ప్రాక్టీస్ లో చూపిస్తారండి ఒకసారి.
ఏది
EXT4
nothing
నుంచి
EXT4 to XFS, sir.
అవును.
No, EXT4 to XFS the file system changes, right? It won't be performed. You will get a lot of data loss. You need to have the same format. ext4 to ext4 or XFS to XFS.
ఓకే. ఓకే.
You got a point, right?
హుహు.
సేమ్ ఫార్మాట్ ఉంది. అంటే మీ ఆండ్రాయిడ్ మొబైల్ నుంచి ఆండ్రాయిడ్ మొబైలే.
ఓకే.
iPhone to iPhone. Architecture will change, right? The problem here is that, so if not, what the people will do, you want to change this file system architecture. XFS కింద మార్చాలి అప్పుడు. XFS కింద మార్చినప్పుడు కూడా అది టుమారో చెప్తాను ఆ సెషన్. అది ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్ మార్చినప్పుడు your file again you are going to be corrupted. Means you have an Android mobile, okay, you have a Apple OS, so you are forcefully you are trying to install instead of Android the functionality of iPhone. So what it will going to be happen, existing operating system and the new operating system, they're not able to relatable in your hardware, so there is a chances you will lose the data corruptions, right? Because your hardware of your server is a primary matter here. సో ఇది ఈ పాయింట్ మీకు టుమారో మీకు చెప్పినప్పుడు మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. ఓకే, దెర్ ఈస్ అ ఫ్యూ మోర్ సినారియో ఉంది, ఫైల్ సిస్టమ్ ఫార్మాట్ చేంజెస్. సో అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ ఎనీ అదర్ పీపుల్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎనీ డౌట్స్, లైక్ నాకు ఈ పీపుల్ ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎనీ డౌట్స్? So these all are whatever we are showing, everything is a real time we will get this type of the issues. That is the reason everything I'm showing practically only, because LVM is very important. You will get a lot of scenario issues, everything scenarios. Okay, just go through it. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to discuss about the one more topic, few more scenarios will be there, that is changing of the file systems, and there is a few more FSCK we need to do it, and a repair we need to do it. Those are the things also how we can do it, what are the possibilities, what are the do's and don'ts, we are going to discuss in the same time. Okay, so thank you everyone, have a nice day.
Pawan, do you have any assignment on this user management, like scenario based question, interview based question?
Yeah, it is there. It is there into the share folder in a workout folder. You can see that. There is a workout folder is there. There we have a scenario based, all the questions will be there for not only user management, LVM and other things also. Just go through it. Okay.
That is sufficient for interview, right?
Most of the times. Okay, just go through it. Still you need a means, you can able to. There is a additional workout material also there. If you can see that here, not a regular material, some of additional material, whichever we found it in the LinkedIn, and a good amount of materials I copied and placed over there also. It is somewhat better than easy for you also. Okay. Still, see, once I'm saying that, see, once the course is completed, it doesn't mean that we are winding up. Okay, so what we are doing means, so there is a kind of, I said you right, there is a kind of, if someone of the, let it be, there is a one guy came for the fast track. Okay, so I'm not only explaining to him. In the moment of the time I'm looping the, for example, Rohit, you are available. The guy is looking for the fast track. Okay, you are available means you can join with him. Again, the revision. Okay, you don't need to pay the single rupee. Okay, it's not for the money. Okay, but the thing is that it will be helpful for him also. Right now I'm doing for the some of the cases like that only. Okay, and not only that one, in Saturday's time we are going to have a, for example, now Santosh is having experienced, he know the troubleshootings, he knows the some of the things. Okay, how the real time we are getting the issues, what is their way of approach in their environment, what is the terminologies they are using, because everyone is not sending the mail to the storage team. Some of the guys they will send the ticket also, some of the guys they will raise some specific storage tickets, special request. So everything that will be help you out, and how they are presenting a resume, how you are vocally, and how you are 1x. For example, now the client asks you to create a one file system /app. The client will come up with, otherwise in interviews, they will come up with a clear picture. Okay, tell me the step-by-step process, what you are going to do it. So the steps means the 5 steps. Apart from that, this type of the questions also ask nothing but nothing but Santosh ask, right? I'm getting the warnings. Why the warnings I'm getting? Okay, what could be the reason? Getting a warning is a normal thing only, but what could be the reason? We have to be know, right? Unless you got into the situation, you cannot know, right? So those type of the situation will help you out. So those things, not only with our guys, there is other guys members also. We can have a different old members also. We can have a chart. Then we can understand. Okay, this way also we can explain. Okay. Till you get it, after you getting also, you can always free to chat. Okay. So probably, yeah, we are placing the calls. Okay. So let me move on to some of the topics means then you people will be understand. Okay. Mock calls, resume preparation, scenarios, and we are conducting scenarios. See, right now we are creating kind of the segregations also. For example, the same scenario, let it be few members will be the storage team, few members will be the application team, few members will be the client. So how you are sending the mail to the client? How the storage team guys will be responded with the proofs? How the application team will be asking the questions? Everything we are creating the one scenario. So there you can understand how to send the mails also, and what are the things you need to add it also as a proof. Okay, that also we can do it. Okay. So, and today video and yesterday video, actually Vivek is into the temple. Okay. So I will share you my maximum today end of the day. Yesterday video and today video. Okay. Recorded video. Yeah. Just allow for the day. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all. Have a nice day and please go through the thing. Okay. Please come up with the doubts. Okay. And go through the materials and everything. Okay. Thank you all. Have a nice day.